did it where it was like you had to click.
The next page.
Yeah. All right, there's 4 basic assumptions regarding reader response. The first is stance is important. A student's response to literature is not about answering a series of questions, but is rather a transaction between the reader and the text. The nature of the student's transaction depends on his or her stance towards the text. His stance will make an impact on how he responds to the text and constructs meaning. There are 2 stances, aesthetic and efferent. Aesthetic is what the reader experiences, thinks, and feels during the reading, and efferent is what the reader carries from the text, what he or she learns. Okay? The next assumption is that readers make meaning. The making of meaning from reading is dynamic, reflective, introspective process. Meaning is made by the reader, not found. All right, the third assumption is that although meaning is personal, it is also grounded in text. Responses take into account both the text and the reader's cultural background and individual uniqueness. The fourth assumption is that multiple interpretations of text are constructed. Because everyone is different and come from different cultural backgrounds, multiple meanings are to be expected. And that's what I was talking about when we were starting this slideshow, is that everyone comes to the classroom with different backgrounds and different reading abilities, so they're able to gain different things from different texts. If you give a child a book that's too hard, of course they're not going to learn very much because they're trying to decipher every word. So they're not gaining meaning and understanding from what they're reading. All right, next. All right, 2 essential elements in reader's response. First one is reading. So reading should be self-paced through sustained silent reading, which is kind of difficult for a pre-first classroom, but you can send the kids to the carpet or a comfortable place in the room and they can read. They can drop everything and read, which is dear. And they can gain meaning through their silent, sustained reading. Self-pacing is important because all readers come to class reading at different speeds. Teachers must be cognizant not to assign a specific amount of time to finish a text because it may force a slower reader to feel rushed and may hinder his or her comprehension. Making meaning also takes time. Okay? All right, the second element is responding. Responding can take place using a variety of methods. Journals help readers emphasize the ideas that are important to them or they are able to share in a peer discussion. Journals can also be a place where readers explore and extend their understanding of what they have read, even if it's not followed by a discussion. I have a journal from my 3rd grade class where we read, my mom still has this, we read a story and it was just about a certain topic. And I compared the character to my dad because I didn't feel like my dad was a Christian. And who knows where I got that from. And it's funny just to read back. I mean, this reader's response and writer's workshop is not something that's a new concept. It's just everything goes in cycles. Everyone focuses on different things at different times. Okay? The next one is journals. The forms of implementation. First is a reader's workshop, and I know you've all heard about that a lot. And during my undergrad, that was the big thing, was reader's workshop and writer's workshop. And it's, group mini lessons on some aspect of reading. So a teacher starts the lesson out by explaining a certain concept of reading or writing, and then they have sustained silent reading of a self-selected text. Then they do a response in their journal. I've been in some 4th grade classrooms here where they really implemented the reading workshop, which is a good age to start. I mean, it's a good age to start as young as possible, but the 4th graders can really do a great job at it, and they seem to really enjoy it. The next one is...
The pre-firsters did a good job.
No, pre-firsters did do a good job, but the text is not as long, so they're able to gain so much meaning. All right, literature circle. They're selected books by students. They get in groups, and sustained silent reading and response and journal. A lot of times people combine Reader's Workshop with literature circles, do like a mix of both. I like literature circles. I went to a junior grade books training this summer, and we used literature circles to discuss like short excerpts from different books, and it was amazing like what all we could get from the different pieces of the book. I mean, stuff that I would never think of, someone else in the classroom thought of it. It's just really great how you can pull so many different ideas from a small book. All right. I think that's it. Okay, so why reader response? Students develop ownership of what they read and their responses. They make personal connections with literature. They gain an appreciation for multiple interpretations. They become more reflective, more critical readers, move to higher levels of thinking, and increase their repertoire of responses to literature. See, I'm studying ESOL, so it's very important for me to use this kind of approach in my teaching because I have kids that are coming from so many different backgrounds. So my goal as a teacher is to create lifelong learners and develop critical thinking skills and higher order thinking skills through settings such as this. And that's it. I think I just have a quote. No, I don't. I just have more. No. All right, keep going. This is the same sort of thing. The growth as strategic readers, view of self as successful reader, metacognition, all that stuff, reader response, approaches to literature do help students grow both in depth and breadth of their responses to literature as a strategic